Hey guys, what's going on? We're back with another auction video. You guys seem to really enjoy the last auction video when we went down to a local auction in our area to check out a place and see how hot the market is at the moment and to show you the house and the end result. So if you enjoy this style of video and you want to see more auction videos, make sure you drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel as well. That would be awesome. So Ellie and I decided that we wanted to go to a local auction in and around our area, and we attended an auction in Holland Park West. Holland Park West is in a great location. It's close to the busway where they're doing the new metro. There's a lot of buyer interest because it's also a little bit higher up. There's a bit of elevation in the homes. And so we saw this renovator, which was a brick house on just over 600 square meters. And we thought we'd take you through the house and give you the backstory on how the auction went and where it actually ended up. We're heading down to the brick house here in Holland Park West at the moment. So we're going to take a walk through this house. There seems to be a fair few people down here. It should go to auction in the next half an hour. So we'll be pretty interested to see what it goes for, and we want to give you a good idea of what a renovator looks like in a decent area. So let's take a look around and see what we find out. So we rocked up half an hour before the auction and had a good look on the outside. The house was nice and elevated. There was a couple of houses in from a main thoroughfare which was passable. Prices in this area have started shooting through the roof, and if you were to buy in this area 12 months ago, you'd be paying a lot less money for what these houses are going for today. So the exterior is pretty much brick, and there was some nice timber paneling above the door frame and the windows at the front of the house. So I signed up, as you have to do with COVID restrictions, and made my way into the house, and you end up in a foyer area which connects to the kitchen and also connects to the sunken living space and dining area. But it was a rather nice kitchen. They put their own island bench in the middle. They had a nice gas burner stove which was massive. It was almost like a chef's kitchen with a gas burner stove and the range hood, and then the sink overlooking the front of the house's view, which was nice. It had a bit of elevation on the front so you could see out into the skyline. So after negotiating my way past the agents and into the rest of the house, it was a 3-bedroom house with a bathroom in the middle and then the dropped or the sunken living area. So there wasn't really a distinguishable master bedroom, except for the bedroom that connected to the bathroom. I guess you could say is the master, but as there was only one bathroom in the house, it's not really an ensuite, and it would be difficult for a family to use just one bathroom, as most families these days are used to having a master with an ensuite and then an additional bathroom as well. So it's becoming more and more common to have 2 bathrooms, but again, that would be a point for renovations on this house. And each of the bedrooms were a relatively similar size. They looked like they were 3.5 by 3 meters with a built-in robe, which didn't have any doors on it. So it looked like the doors had been ripped off at some point. Now, in the hallway space between the bedrooms, it was a bit weird. There was a bit of additional space than you would expect, and it's probably because they tiled and done some renovations between when the house was originally built to when they'd done the additional work on the house down the track. Moving my way out of the bedrooms and in through the living space, they tiled that section of the floor, and it looked like that's where you'd put your couch and your TV. Now, the living area led out onto the backyard, which was a really nice space. It was retained, so it had a retaining wall about 1 meter away from the house, and it was quite a large flat space. There was an old dingy shed off to the right-hand side, which looked like it might be asbestos and paneling. Along the non-driveway side of the house, there was basically dead space. So that meant that they were using it for their laundry and just for anything they wanted to store around the side of the house. Now, I made my way down the driveway and took a little peek under the house, as you can see. And you can see that the timber floorboards are in really good condition under here. There's a bit of junk and storage under the house. And you can see that the hot water heater from where we were looked pretty new. I didn't bother crawling into the space because we're not looking to buy this house, but it was good to have a little look under the house and see that there were good bones. So all in all, this house had great bones, it had great location, and it had value add potential through renovations that could be done in the living areas and painting of the house and making the most of the backyard if you wanted to increase the bedrooms and bathrooms in the home. Now, we sat around at the auction waiting for it to start, and there was a large group starting to form at the front of the property, ready for the auction to begin. Prices started at $700,000, with a couple of young couples starting the bidding off in the low 700s. They made their way from 700 to 720 to 740, and it started pretty slow in the mid 700s. Now, some older couples who were there with their families started to begin bidding, and it got up to the 800s pretty quickly. So it moved its way to 800, and the younger couples started dropping out of the bidding, and people that hadn't bid before decided to start jumping in and making their bids. There were 3 key couples that were looking to buy this home, and it made its way quickly to $840,000, where it looked like the house was going to sell. The auctioneer threw his countdown, and then the auction continued on as the bidders came back in. They moved from $840 to $850 to $860 and eventually landed at $865,000. There were no more bids to be called, and the house sold for $865,000, a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom, brick home with timber floors in a good location. To us, that price is astronomical. We couldn't believe how high it ended up selling for, but that just goes to show how hot the market is at the moment, and that auctions are a really good option if you're looking to sell your home in this current environment. Now, we were pretty gobsmacked, and we had a bit of a jokingly chat to the neighbors after the auction, as they bought a few years ago for only $700,000. So they were super stoked with the result as well. And it was really interesting seeing the back and forth between the people bidding on the home, and it was awesome to see the joy of the family winning the auction at the end. We thought we'd show you this auction because we were interested in this place personally. It had opportunity to add value, but given the price point that it sold for, it would be better suited to an owner renovator rather than an investor looking to buy a property and rent it out, just given the high price that it sold for and the amount of work that would be needed to get it up to a higher standard. Now, if you guys are interested in seeing more auction videos, like I said, make sure you drop a like on this video. It really gives us good feedback as to whether you are engaging with the content and whether you want to see more of this style of video. Also, leave a comment down below if you'd like to see different types of property walkthroughs or auctions, or what we're doing with our Saturdays or our weekends. Last of all, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace. I don't even know what I'm trying to think of something different, but I can't think of it. What we're doing today is auctions. People like auctions. You like auctions. I'm a whacking, waving, and float alarm flailing tube man. That means that you need to like this video and subscribe. Alright, let's go.